holding off without chairs. You guys are my heroes, so perfect. Yeah, I got to know Jeunesse actually only 15 months ago. So how can you master this business in 15 months? Well, obviously I didn't. I got to know about network marketing as a concept, as a business, 14 years ago. That's when I was still in Germany, so I'm German, and I was in school and I was looking for opportunities to just earn some extra income. And I heard about this concept called network marketing. And I asked everyone, work from home, do you know what it is? And everybody was really, really fast in telling me, don't do this. This won't work. It's a scam. And I was like, okay, but I keep on seeing this for years. If it was a scam, somebody would have noticed. Could you tell me what it is? Like, how does it work at least? And then is when I learned my first lesson. People always have an opinion, even if they have no clue. Exactly. And I don't know if that's particular for Germans. I think this is more like particular for humans, okay? Because everybody wants to appear smart, even though they don't really know what's going on. And back then, again, that's November 2003, how incredible is that? I asked my father to please drive me to the train station because I didn't have enough money and I didn't have no car. And I put myself in the train to drive all the way to Frankfurt, and I attended this weekend seminar. And again, my biggest fear was that it's going to be illegal. But when I arrived at the hotel, it was a beautiful hotel, it was the company logo, big with a projector on the wall, and I said, okay, probably it's not illegal because if not, they would have been shut down by now. And I was relaxed, and I went to do this meeting, and I realized now there's two types of people. There's either the person being really critical and skeptical, and in Germany we have a lot of those, but I did find out in every country we have a lot of those, okay? What we do say about Germans is that they only will drink the milk after reading the manual of the cow, okay? Engineer country. But I realized about every other place, people say, oh, people here are really critical, really skeptical. So that's one type of people. I was not that type of a person. I was the second kind of person that are just flat excited after the first minute. You're just something, and oh my gosh, I think this is amazing, okay? And I don't know how many of you are type 1 people and how many of you are type 2 people, but for us, like the type 2 people, we're the type of people that don't sleep. The first night, we do not sleep the second night, and at some point, we are still tired, but we're so excited that excitement keeps us up because we're just thinking in our heads, oh my gosh, I know this person, I know that person, that person, that. I raised my hand the first meeting, I said, sir, I have a question. You're telling me that I can enroll all these people, like literally you're telling me I can invite my friends, have a look at this, and if they want to do this, they will join with my code, and you will pay me based upon their efforts, not only my own. Is that correct? And he said, yes. I said, great. Here's my question. How much do I have to pay in order to enroll someone? Because in my thinking, if you have a company and you get someone to work for you, or like an employee, you have to pay a salary, or at least some kind of, let's say, responsibility. What if he doesn't perform? You know, what happens then? Where's the catch, right? Where's the catch? And the guy says, nothing. You don't have to pay anything, and you're not responsible, because if they're not doing anything, that's up to them. It's their own business. They don't work for you. They work for themselves. And even if they buy product or everything, they place their own investment because they're business people, and this is a business concept, not a job. I said, well, that's already great because I didn't have no money anyways. So I was like, that's good. So I'm happy to put in some people. But sir, I have one more question if I might. Here's my second question. Because he was talking about what if you introduce 3 people, and then you help them to each get 3, that will be 9, and then you help them each get 3. And I'm thinking in my head, what if I bring 30 or 300, you know? Like, where's the limit, you know? So it's like, what's the limit? How much can a maximum, what's the maximum amount of people to bring? And he said, there's no limit. And I said, hold on. So you're telling me I can talk to everyone I know, invite them to the meeting. You guys are going to do the job. Like, I don't even have to speak. I'm just going to say, hey, did you find it well, right? Cool, great to see you here. Hey, I reserved a seat for you. Come on, have a seat here. We'll talk after the presentation. So that's basically what I have to do. You guys are going to do the job. They'll pay their own start. They'll work their own business. And if they are able to do something, you'll pay me. And you're telling me there is no limit, and you do pay me on the whole thing. He's like, that's about right. I said, okay, great, so we need bigger rooms. Because I was thinking in my head, I know about everyone who wants to make a little bit more money, and that was back in Germany. Now we're in Dubai, and now we're in Dubai, and there's about one big reason why people are in Dubai. Is that to make a little bit more money? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to judge or something, but for most people, that was like that. I mean, that's a big reason to be here, right?
Yeah.
To do business, to thrive, to reinvent yourself. And here's the fun part about this business. Let me tell you that, and then I'll tell you how I build it, because I really want you to be as successful as I am. In fact, I want you to be more successful and do more than what I was able to do, because in the end, we're all one team. I'm not going to withhold any secret. I'm going to give you the whole juice, because I want you to succeed, because it's all of us together, right? So this is not like in traditional business where, see, I had a background in a bank. I worked for Deutsche Bank in Germany. And imagine I'm in the bank and I'm performing really well. Like I'm the young guy and I'm hungry and I'm working. At some point, my boss is getting nervous, right? Because at some point he's like, okay, this kid's good, but we don't want him to be, too good, because what's my only way to get up? He needs to go away. He needs to leave one way or the other, right? He needs to get up, because the company, the bank, won't call me one day, hey, Mr. Feier, you did a great job. We want to promote you, and we were thinking, we already got another person up here. We just opened a whole new department for you. That doesn't happen in traditional business. That's where there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of elbows, there's a lot of, against each other. Well, not in network marketing. Here's all about transferring all the knowledge we have, helping each other, giving each other feedback to be better, to unleash our potential. Have you heard that before in a mission statement? To unleash each other's potential, to eventually all be more successful in the marketplace. Now, the reason why I said that is absolutely, I have no idea why I said that. I wanted to go somewhere, I had a concept, I do not remember. What was it? Anyways,
How you start?
Exactly, I wanted to get there, but there was just one other thing I wanted to say, but I don't remember. Anyways, I'll probably get there. We desperately need a brain product.
Mind.
Actually, we'll get it soon, so don't worry. Okay. Okay.
Your boss saying
Anyways, I don't remember. Okay, so here's how I did it, okay, if you want to know. So that was 14 years ago. I was really young, and it was a different company. There was no Jeunesse, and so on and so forth.
You're talking about
But-
making money.
You need bigger rooms.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're the man. Walid, I remember. Here's the one thing that I wanted to tell you. What
But
I
you forgot. We're in Dubai to make money.
do not distract me again, because I like to mentally grab on that thought right now. Here's what I wanted to say. After being 14 years in this business, here's what I realized. People start to make money with a business. They get into the business to make money, but they stay because of the feeling.
Yeah.
They get into it, oh, I want to make money, let me have a look at this. I mean, obviously people also love the products, but basically, if you love the products, it doesn't really necessarily mean you have to start distributing it or talk to everyone, right? I mean, you could just be a customer. I mean, I love Nespresso, and I really think the only advertising that's deserved is George Clooney to make millions of dollars with Nespresso advertising, because that's the best out there. I love it, he deserves it, So, but yet, I'm not selling Nespresso. I'm not, going crazy building a team for Nespresso. I would maybe consider that if there was even the option. But if the only reason I would do that is, yes, I love the product, but I do want to make money. So people start for the money, but they stay for the feeling, for the personal development, for the achievement, for the connections, for the whole unleashment of potential. Okay, so that's really why people stay in the community. Now, that's what I wanted to say, and this is beautiful, because in the end, money is kind of empty. And you all know that. I mean, I'm not saying here, there's these people say, oh, money isn't important. I realize it's true, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it's very high up there, kind of with oxygen, So, on Saturday we had a training with Calvin Becerra. You're going to hear him in a second, and he was talking about, at some point you have your bills paid, and then there's really other stuff that's important. He said at some point you have your mortgage paid, or your house paid, or your car paid, or your school and the kids and a little bit of fun stuff and your beauty and stuff, and then eventually that's all paid, and the rest is just time. And I said, well, not in Dubai, there's one more thing. After that, it's Dubai Mall. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So again, how did I do it? And this is very important, because you really all can do it. 6 years ago, I'm 31 yet now, I was still living in Germany. 6 years ago, I took a decision. And here's what happens. Nobody just wakes up in the morning and says, oh my gosh, I got 5,000 people in my group. This is not how it happens, okay? There is always a decision first. So if someone achieves anything in this business, it's after he decided not only to join, that's one thing, but really to perform, really to make this special, really to be good at it. You know, it's one thing to say, hey, okay, I'm in, I'm joining, I'm trying, I'm dipping my toe in the water, you know. Or you can say, okay, this is the day I'm gonna jump in the pool. Still got my clothes on, but I'm all wet, right? That's the day. And for me, that was the 21st of September 2010. And I was in a presentation about this size, and there was one very, very special guy in the room, and you guys are so fortunate because he's here tonight, the very same guy, so it's gonna be exactly replicated for you tonight. This is very rare, okay? But it was him, but we're gonna get there. So he was in the room, and I had this one question. I don't know if you all had that question before, because I'm sure whether you have been in network marketing or not, I'm sure all of you somehow have heard of something like it before, right? Is that about true? Yeah. And if some people say, no, I've really never ever heard of network marketing, then just remind them Tupperware, you know, or remind them Avon or Amway, and in the end they're like, ah, yeah, I know these type of things. So, and when we think about something like this, here's one thought immediately that comes up for everyone. Oh, I heard of people, they tried it and what? Quit. It didn't work. They talked to everyone they know, they came to the meetings and the trainings, and somehow it didn't work, right? We all have heard that. In case you have not, just go online, Google network marketing, you'll find some smart people in online chats and forums, they'll tell you all about why it doesn't work, okay? So it's very simple to have that impression. So, and for me it was like this, I loved network marketing. I was in network marketing. I was dreaming about network marketing. I was talking about it. It's like my one love, right? But yet, after 4 years in it, I had like 74 people in my group. Now some of you might say, well, it's not too bad. Well, about 65 were sleeping. You know these people that are dead but somehow still walking? You know? You have to breathe life into them and they're like, okay, I'm here, and then you go, they fall down. That's about my group. And I'm thinking, I can't believe it. Why is it that only I'm doing something and nobody else is doing anything? And then you are at a big convention and you see these people going, oh yeah, I'm in the business, 4 years, I got like, what is that? I'm not sure, numbers constantly go up. It's like 13,000 people by now. And I'm sitting there like, how? Where did the people come from? Like, I'm trying, I mean, I see people, it was like this, like I walk somewhere in the mall and I see like on a Friday night, or Thursday night here in Dubai, and it's full of people, and I go down the elevator or the escalator, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if all of them would be my team. That would be amazing, But that's just my head, but in real life, it looked pretty empty, So I have this one question going to this meeting. How do people have so many people? How does it work? And I heard of this guy who was the youngest millionaire in that particular company, which was not Jeunesse, it was called Monavi, US-based company, antioxidant, very similar product to Reserve, incredible. And the guy was only 26 years old when he started, made $1 million after 1 year. And I'm into this 4.5 years, right? And I'm like, to the point of desperation. And so I'm going there and I say, okay, how the heck did you do that? And I ask the guy and he says, the magic word is duplication. I just want to give you this quick thing and then I'll move on to him, okay? The magic word is duplication. Because you can only do that much yourself. Does it make sense? I mean, some of you might be rock stars and you know like 100 people to put in this business. Other people might be like, oh, I don't even know if I know anyone, but then you'll end up finding a couple of people that are motivated. You might have 5, 7, 10, 12, whatever. But nobody of you has 1,000 people ready to enroll, right? And even if you had, the whole structure wouldn't even work, because how can you take care of 1,000 people? You can't. So in the end, what you really need is duplication. So you need a lot of people doing something. Germans have a problem with the word something, by the way. Do you know that? Just a little extra note, side note. Okay, anyways, so a lot of people that do something repetitively, so that it eventually turns out to be kind of a duplication or movement. And this guy told me something very smart. He said, you need to keep it simple. Now, telling that to a German is really, really hard, because we think everything great must be complicated. But it's actually not, and he proved it to me, because he said, bro, if it's complicated, many people won't do it. People already have their jobs, they already have their families, they already have their lives, they already have their stress. Do you think they want another job? Do you think they want to study again? Really, do you think they want that? No. And plus, most people won't even get it. You know, because if you put 100% attention, some people put 10%, other people 5%. Now, if they don't get it, nothing won't happen, so you need to keep it simple. And he gave me like a magic formula, and that was the big secret. Because people always ask, what's the secret? I'm giving it to you right away, day one, and I'm sorry if you're a guest, but you get the whole truth right up front. Now you choose to take it or not. But he told me it's only 5 steps. And what's very important, you need to repeat those 5 steps. And here's what he said. He said, step number 1 is simply sign up. Because per definition, if you don't sign up, you're not in. See, that's what I think is funny. People, you know what's the number one reason people don't sign up? They're afraid it wouldn't work. Isn't that ironic? Because if you don't start, guess what happens?
It won't work.
It won't work. So it's kind of crazy. Do you get it? Most people don't start because they're afraid it won't work. So they don't start, and guess what happens? It doesn't work. So just to be safe, get started, okay? Because it might work. Okay, second step is you need products. No products, no business. How many people in the room love salespeople? Okay, some do, great, I respect the profession. But if you get a call from a call center saying, hey sir, are you enjoying our products? I just have a question, are you enjoying your due contract? You know, and you already know what's coming. You know, you're like, sir, I'm in the meeting right now. You're right on the bathroom, like, come to the meeting right now. The truth is, we don't want to be sold. We don't want to be sold. So don't please start going around, start selling stuff to people that you're not even using yourself. People don't want that. They don't even want the perfect salesperson or the perfect sales pitch or what's the strategy, like be all creepy 1980s style. Forget that. What you want to be is just authentic. You want to just love something, be passionate about it, and it's better to say, honestly, I have no clue why it works, but have you seen how it works? You know, like the instantly ageless people be like, it's amazing, your wrinkles are gone. I was like, I know, that's what I thought. And they're like, how does it work? I have no idea, but don't touch it with me. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't, and that's good news because you don't need to be the expert. You don't need to be the scientist. You don't need to be the doctor. You just need to be using the products. And you need to start loving the products. And honestly, if you're not interested in the products or you don't feel the mission that Jeunesse is going towards is making us healthier and younger and looking better, making people feel great, then please don't join. Then it's not for you. It's no problem. It's still great to have you here, you know, but it's fine. But you need to get products. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, and this is